The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks, go.
Okay, the U.S., they're taking it way too far. Okay, I'm sorry. The whole Donald Trump thing, let's have a debate. Hey, speaking of which, could tonight be the night where Nathan MacKinnon is actually claimed as the best hockey player in the game today, not Connor McDavid? Okay, a lot is on the line. Let's talk about it. Locked on Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks, or maybe for today is Locked On Canada, baby. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, and also a Canucks writer currently with Daily Hive Vancouver. Before we get into the show, we got to thank you for tuning into Locked On Canucks, because it is your Canucks every damn day. Shout out to the Locked On Podcast Network. They're doing the most for sports fans across the world. And Kyle, man, oh man, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, man, because we finally made it. Canada versus U.S. in the true best on best game to decide who has the best country in the world between these two teams, at least in terms of hockey. But
oh, sorry, you're cutting out a bit, but you just said you jacked what to Mountain Dew? You're not allowed to do anything. Like, Mountain Dew is counterintuitive to like whatever you just said there. Okay, I don't know if that's American lore or Canadian lore, but I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be drinking Mountain Dew before doing anything with Jack. What? Speaking of Jack, okay, America versus Canada. Jack Hughes, he's been quiet the whole tournament. So many stars. Austin Matthews has been so quiet this whole tournament too. Like they're just so many big names for the Americans that give them this audacity to be so braggadocious about whatever's going to happen tonight. Okay, the most historic game in American hockey history, one of the biggest games in Canadian hockey history too. I guess. Not really, but this is important nonetheless. And even with mentioning those two guys that haven't done much in this tournament, I still find it like impossible to be that cocky when you're facing Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon on the same team. And you know what? Throw in Cale Makar too. I'm just like straight up. And America, they're just taking it way too far. I thought I was Team NHL for a while. I thought I was whatever's best for the game. Boom, bam. But I'm feeling more patriotic as the hours go by. Now we just saw that message from Donald Trump too, saying, I'm paraphrasing, but good luck to America against that country that could soon be the 51st state. Like, he dropped that in there again. And now I'm like, he's actually being serious right now? Oh, but this is not a political program. The ups told us, hey, don't get political on Locked On. Dude, that's some bullshit, bro. That's some bullshit. It's a game. It's a hockey game. You're going to bring in that type of narrative too in here? Like, relax, Donald. Relax, Bill Guerin. You know what I'm saying? When Bill Guerin was asked about Donald's comments or whatever, this guy just brushed it off, Brushed it off. Dude, that's a big deal. You don't just brush it off. Like, you know what you should say? That's not cool. You could leave that out of your statement, Donald Trump. You don't got to bring up the annexation of Canada. That's some bullshit. And Bill Guerin, for him to brush it off, it makes it seem as if, again, like this game matters so much to the United States. And I'm guaranteeing it. The United States of America, they're going to lose by like 4 goals tonight.
Well, I think that's why it's guaranteed win night for Canada here, is because because Donald Trump is chirping Canada like that, man. Unbelievable, man. So you heard it here first. And look, Kyle, I said this after the US beat Canada, that I felt this way no matter who won the first game between these two teams, but it's going to be really damn hard for the Americans to beat Canada twice in a row. And look, I mean, we've talked about these teams now for quite some time. You look at the rosters. US 1 through 18, in my mind, is a better team. They have better defense. They have better goaltending. That matters when you have teams of this caliber playing with such small margins. But Canada also has, I would say, the best 3 players in this game. And McDavid and MacKinnon are 2 of them. And I would say Makar is better than anyone on the US team as well. So, it's a damn shame that we don't get to see Quinn Hughes play tonight. Obviously, a lot of drama there. Kyle, you did a good job covering that yesterday on the network as well. But I'm really feeling like tonight's the night where the Canadians, aka the Canucks, are going to find a way to emerge victorious. And for a lot of these guys, the biggest game of their career.
Dude, the United States of America is so lucky that Donald Trump will not be in attendance, because if he was witness to this ass kicking that Canada is about to give the United States, he'll stop funding. for hockey US for real. No tax dollars are going to go to the hockey US anymore. Like, this is getting way too far, and for a team that, again, last time I checked, I feel as if the United States of America has won 3 quote unquote major professional best on best or world championship type tournaments. Okay, 3. That's not even a joke, bro. I'm not lying. I'm not paraphrasing. I usually paraphrase, but that's not a joke. And they're talking way too much. Hey, speaking of the talking, I'm not going to front too. Again, I'm all over the place, but let me side with not America, but just the narrative around this game and what I want the narrative to be. Okay, outside of Canada just winning. Dude, I'm sorry. I want this to be like the Royal Rumble. I want this to be WrestleMania. I want this to be UFC 300. Or I just want this to be full of entertainment. Should I say full of violence? That's a bit strong. Okay, is that a little American to me or a little Canadian to me? I don't know. It's hockey, right? But everyone's going to be watching, Trevor. And Brandon Hagel talked about how Canada doesn't have group chats, and I'm paraphrasing now, but it's like, we're playing for the flag and they're playing for the cameras. I feel as if both teams should play for the camera tonight because, again, there's a lot of national pride in line. Don't get me wrong, and like again, the whole Donald BS and all that stuff. But it's like there's a chance here. There's a big chance because everyone is going to be watching this game today, and you don't want anyone to get hurt and whatnot. But we kind of need this game to be entertaining. I know there's a lot of skill. I know there's a lot of smart defensive forwards out there. Obviously, the defense is stacked for both teams, especially on the U.S. side. Hallebuck's just an incredible goalie too. But I want to see a lot of hits. I want to see a lot of goals. I want to see a couple fights. I want them to put the NHL on because there's an opportunity here for us to get a bit of steam towards. I'm not going to talk about the hierarchy of sports like the NBA and the NFL, but just like the growth of the game hinges on tonight's game. I think so.
Yeah, Kyle, I like your optimism in terms of like, give me the fights, give me the hits, give me the goals, give me a Canadian ass kicking. I kind of think that none of those things are happening tonight. You can call me the darkest guy on the program if you want, but I know JT Miller was just on the 32 Thoughts podcast and said that he's not fighting tonight. I just think there was something different about the first meeting between these two teams, and now that they are in the final, and yeah, I know it's a made-up charity tournament or whatever you want to call it, but it means a lot to these players. I don't really think anyone wants to be sitting in the box for 5 minutes in the rematch tonight. And yeah, again, I would like to see lots of goals, but again, you look at the defenses on both teams. Look at Connor Hellebuck. Of course, Jordan Binnington is what scares me most about Canada in this game, to be honest. But I mean, what's probably the betting mentality in this game is that it's probably going to be low scoring. It's going to be fast, and there's just going to be hits, and it's going to be exciting. But I do think it's going to be a low-scoring, tight-checking game for the most part. But you got a lot of speed, you got a lot of talent on both teams, and again, what I want to see versus what I think is going to happen, Kyle, is pretty much the opposite of everything you're saying. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that the NHL does take a moment tonight and they just market the hell out of how great hockey is. But yeah, I think don't be expecting a lot of goals and a lot of fights tonight. That's what I'm saying.
Damn, bro. And you got to throw in this factor too. Like, first of all, I'm not going to believe anything JT Miller says. Like, who knows, right? Like he might still get into a fight today because it's hockey at the end of the day. But just even the fact that like Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk are playing tonight hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like they still got to play for Ottawa and Florida respectively after this tournament. Like that probably lowers the chances that there's going to be less shenanigans. But at the end of the day, I look at that American team and, I'm ridiculing them for being braggadocious and having like a different type of energy and possibly not being as humble. But you want to talk about American culture, the charisma and the personality is on their side, and they may want to embrace it. Because when we talk about putting the game on and growing the game, are we talking about growing the game in Canada? No, we're not. Absolutely not. Maybe Matthew Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, and company want to be the guys, like want to be the faces of when hockey changed across the American landscape. Now the players have gotten better, but could it be again a situation where those two single-handedly with their fists and whatnot, generate a new era of fans across the globe? Like again, them being injured, them wanting to win this game, them not wanting to sit 5 minutes in a penalty box, like all those things make a lot of sense. But a part of me also thinks that there's a chance that they have that main character energy, and some call them villains. I'll call them superheroes in this case. Like maybe they're like, yo, screw it. I don't care how I'm feeling. All this stuff. Like I want to entertain the fans because, at the end of the day, there's so much entertainment in what we're doing here. And I want to create a moment. And I know they created one a couple of days ago, but this would be the one because everyone is going to tune into the start of this game. Like, they can put themselves on for life, like being hockey lore, like they could do it.
Well, yeah, again, I think especially at the beginning of the game, the whole world's going to be watching, or at least North America's going to be watching. And Oliver Skolnick in the comments, talking about Stephen A. Smith, talking with PK Subban on First Take today. I mean, this is pretty much the dream snare for the NHL right now. Like, the NFL is done. Don't really have a lot going on in the NBA right now. MLB is not in full swing. It's like, this is it for right now. Canada, the USA in hockey in February. And it's going to be an amazing precursor for the Olympics as well. Because as we get to the other side here, I think a couple things I want to touch on are, Connor McDavid, both how does he compare to Nathan MacKinnon both now and after tonight? And what happens if Canada and Connor McDavid lose this game? What happens to Connor McDavid's legacy there? Let's get into a bit of Canucks news as well on the other side, some good comments to get to, and an update on Kevin Lankinen. All that and more coming up on the other side. You're listening to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every damn day. We'll be back on the other side after talking about some nuts. Man, oh man, one of my favorite ad reads of all time because I like nuts, I like protein, and I love pistachios. And if you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, you can crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. Wonderful pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help you feeling fuller for longer. Personally, I like them naked, baby. I love that no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for the busy days, whether I'm snacking at my desk, on the toilet, on a road trip, or in the car. They're always my go-to. And if you like a little bit of a tease, and you like cracking open every shell, then the in-shell options are a classic favorite as well. Whatever snack it is, get snacking, get cracking, say go Canada go, and snack on that snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
People. We'll be back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Do us a favor. If you're watching this on the YouTube side, hit the like button. Leave us a review on the podcast side as well. It really helps us out a lot. And again, look at the Canadian dollar. Look at the Canadian dollar. Okay, that's all I got to say. Hit the like button, okay? Pow down, Trevor Bags. Doing this for you and you and you and you and you and you. And speaking of you and you and you and you, let's read some comments before we talk about this debate, okay? Because there's a chance, a big chance. I'd say there's a 49% chance that coming out of this tournament, Nathan MacKinnon will actually be known as the greatest player in the game and not Connor McDavid. But first, again, let's read some comments. Whoa. I was going to click one. I'm not allowed to click that one, okay? Trevor, you started the wrong one. I don't want Secret Service coming up to Canada to, okay? Anyways, okay, look at this. I'm seeing a lot of this. Jordan Binnington sucks, okay? We know that. Okay, G. Ellis saying, I got USA winning 5-3 tonight. Binnington sucks. Like, we got some positive comments. Okay, Binnington is underrated. Actually, a world-class goalie. Don't forget. Besides, we all know the road team wins. Blah blah blah. What's your take on my least favorite goalie in hockey, Jordan Binnington?
Yeah, I think there's reason to be concerned for sure. Look at the last game between Canada and Finland, right? It's like, Canada obviously got up to a hot start. They had the big lead early. But as soon as they let their foot off the gas in the final few minutes of the game, Binnington lets a couple squeak by him. I mean, Binnington is a beatable goalie for sure. And look, I know he had the magical run in 2019. He's a confident goalie for sure. Like, he definitely believes that he's probably the best goalie of all time. But the numbers show that he is kind of average, right? And maybe the best goalie among the mediocre options that were picked for this team, for Team Canada. Even that I would have some debate over, right? I mean, Hill and Montembeault have had their moments too. But yeah, I think Canadian fans have a right to be concerned about Binnington. But again, you got such good defense, such a good defense playing in front of him that you hope that can mitigate some of the chances. And again, you're not Canada's not going to win this game because of Jordan Binnington. They're going to win this game because they have the best players in this game.
Dude, I don't care if Binnington sucks. Like Halibut sucks too because it's a big game. It's like a 5-4 game. It's best for the game. Like both goalies suck. Okay, please suck tonight.
Yeah.
Both of these goalies.
I agree.
Suck,
I agree.
Okay. Next comment. Oh man, I lost it. Oh, right here. Okay. Somebody said right here. Go Canada, go. La Primo is saying there's maple syrup in my veins. And again, it took me a while to get on Team Canada's side, and I'm like 51% there. Ironically, 51st state. Okay. You know what? What I'm trying to say is I'm almost full Canadian. Okay, prior to this game, again, all these comments. Bill Guerin actually pissed me off way more than Donald Trump. Like, come on, come on. You know how much hockey has done for you, how much Canada has done for you, and like for you to just like disrespect Canada like that and not, I'm not telling him to call his president an idiot, but come on, like you can't just let Donald say that stuff, okay, for real, about a hockey game. Anyways, again, I'm feeling more Canadian, and La Primo bringing up maple syrup, and I told you guys earlier, man, I was gonna. Trevor Becks told me this. I'm like, yo, Trevor, I gotta feel more Canadian, okay? I don't know why I don't care who wins this game. And you're like, yo, instead of using lotion or lube, use maple syrup. And I started doing that, and now I'm sticking more to Canada. Okay, it's crazy, man. It sounds dangerous, but it also sounds Canadian, baby. Okay,
it's all natural, man. It comes from the trees.
There you go, man.
To be concerned about.
There you go. Okay, let's get into the debate. Okay, because and I want the YouTube live chat to go off about this too, because I feel like the hockey debate about this is actually it's so fascinating because there's like a small chance. I know I sound like an idiot for saying this, but there's a small chance that it could be true. But you look at the points, you look at the way Nathan MacKinnon also plays the game. Like he's so electrifying as well. You look at the moment today. I mean, if it's a 5-4 game and Nathan MacKinnon has 2 goals and 1 assist, and he's the reason why Canada wins this epic battle between the states and again our nation, dude. I know coming out of this tournament, a lot of people are going to start talking about how he is actually by far and away the best player in hockey.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I'm just looking at the beginning, back to the beginning of the 2023-24 season, right? Since then, I mean, Nathan MacKinnon leads the NHL. He leads it this season, obviously, and he was MVP last year, but leads the NHL with 227 points, which he put up in 139 games. McDavid has, and since beginning of 2023-24, has 203 points in 125 games. So even on a point per game basis, Nathan MacKinnon 1.63 points, slightly ahead of Connor McDavid. And look, you've seen spurts of it in this tournament. I think when the puck is on their stick, the 2 most electrifying players in hockey right now are Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. I would be betting in this game tonight because Connor McDavid kind of had his moment in the first game against the U.S. I would be betting in tonight that it's probably McKinnon's turn to do something really special with the puck that leads to a goal, whether it's an actual goal or himself or setting somebody up. It'd be pretty cool if he did set up Crosby, to be honest. But no, I think it is more of a debate, right? And look, Connor McDavid, again, one of the best players in the world. Like, don't get me wrong, but Nathan MacKinnon, I think, has closed that gap a little bit. And yeah, I do wonder tonight if Nathan MacKinnon is the guy that maybe is the best player on Team Canada. Like, I know for sure this is going to become more of a debate, Kyle.
100%. And bro, like I said, I'm Canadian. I'm becoming more Canadian, but I'm not becoming more Edmontonian. Come on, there's a difference. I can love Canada and not love Edmonton, okay? And I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind the Oilers and their fan base getting even like so pissed off and aggravated that again the hockey world will be having this conversation. And it's a good one, though. It's a good one. Some competition is good. And again, like if more people are going to start watching the game of hockey, it's better to have 2 players like McDavid, not just 1. And I know MacKinnon plays the game differently, but I can't emphasize anymore that he is exceptional. Like he is a pit bull on the ice. So he's different. He's different, and he deserves a lot of that spotlight too. Again, it's good for the game if hockey fans, new sports fans, look at multiple levels of like high excellence, high athleticism. And again, Nathan MacKinnon has that poise, has the pedigree, has all the points and offense and the execution too. And it's a lot of us brag about Quinn Hughes, he's going to win the Hart this year if he makes the playoffs. Like, okay, do the math. It makes sense. He has like, by the time the season ends, he'll have 50 more points or 40 more points than the next guy on the team. Like, that's ridiculous, right? There's a chance of that. Quinn Hughes is that good right now. I mean, I know Makar is on Colorado, but dude, based on what that team has gone through all season long and all the changes they've gone through, to see Nathan MacKinnon still do what he's doing is, again, like that adds on to the narrative too. So again, if today happens, the debate's going to happen. It's going to start. Who's the best player in hockey, Nathan MacKinnon or Connor McDavid?
Yeah, and Kyle, I want to ask another question about McDavid, maybe before we get to some more Canucks-centric stuff and give final thoughts on this game. What happens to McDavid's legacy if Canada does lose tonight, right? And look, I know McDavid, one of the most talented players, maybe the most talented player that we've ever seen, right? But he loses Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, lots of chokes in the playoffs with Edmonton before that. Again, a lot of it not his fault. But if he loses this game tonight, do you think that's going to be part of his legacy as the guy who, as talented as he was, couldn't win in the big game?
Damn. I know I just talked some shit about Edmonton and whatnot and how I, don't really care for them. And I'm down to like have this conversation about MacKinnon having some hype and being in the debate because it would piss them off. But at the end of the day, like I'm not going to also on this episode say this all-star level tournament, this made-up tournament, this tournament that we'll never see again is actually going to damage Connor McDavid's legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. And there's still so much. Like how old is this guy? 28, 29? 27? Like how old is this guy? This guy already has 1,000 points. Like a lot of room for his career to like still flourish, and he's gonna be what he's gonna finish second in points at all time. Straight up. At the end of the day, based on where I think Connor McDavid is going in his career and what he's gonna accomplish, whether it be with Canada, unfortunately the Oilers, or maybe another team. Again, like that contract's running out. Who knows? I still think like again, this tournament's not gonna damage his legacy at all.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right answer. And I'll put in this comment here from Gigatronic saying, I won't cheer for 97. Callum Sandy in the comments saying, cheer for the Maple Leaf, not the players. Get over your petty differences. We're all Canadians today. I kind of laugh with talking to some of my family in Edmonton. And I think that was the first McDavid goal I ever cheered for when he scored against the USA. Yeah, I'm not getting used to cheering for McDavid, but today I'm definitely okay with the Connor McDavid goal. Okay, Kyle. On the other side, I do want to talk a bit about Quinn Hughes, Kevin Lankin, and get to a couple of comments as well. You're listening to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every damn day.
Okay, we back doing this, and that's gearing up for the greatest game ever. I don't know if it reaches its heights and it's super entertaining, then I will put this down as like the second most important game of my hockey viewing experience. Because again, no, if it lives up to the hype, like I'm so team NHL. I think hockey is the coolest sport. I think it's way harder than the NBA. I don't know what Providence is always talking about, bro. I think this guy's blind, to be honest, straight up. Like hockey is just a way more intense sport. It deserves more attention. It's good for the game. It's good for everyone. And here's an opportunity to just get even more of that. And if it lives up to the billing and the hype for me, I'm going to appreciate that. That's a moment. As a fan of the game, it's special. But I will also say this, like if Canada wins 3-1 and it's none of that, but just a good Canadian performance, like this is down the list. It's down the list when it comes to like most important Canadian games for me. Like we watched 2002, 2010, even when I was younger, just paying so much attention to the World Juniors and some of those comebacks. And I'm sorry to bring up Edmonton again, but like the Jordan Eberle memories, like it's just different, right? It's different. The irony and all of that, though, for me, I don't know about you, but it's like, dude, if US wins this, it's the most important. They're making a documentary. They're partnering up with Disney and they're doing something with this. Okay, no, for real. Like this is the biggest moment in American sports history. That's how much they're hyping this up.
Yeah, man, I don't care too much from the U.S. perspective. I agree with you. Like you said, Kyle, at the top, they have won next to nothing in terms of international men's ice hockey. I'm thinking about it more from the Canucks perspective, though. Like, if you're Quinn Hughes, obviously he's cheering for his boys to win, right? But like, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. What is better for the Canucks? the USA winning tonight or the USA losing. Obviously, it's the USA losing, but in terms of Quinn Hughes, like if he feels like the US won without him, like I just wonder how that guy's gonna feel. Like he obviously has a lot of regrets about not being able to be there. It sounded like he wanted to be there until the Canucks blocked him from being there. Like, is he going to be? Do you think he'll be at all more?
Trevor, man, punch yourself in the damn face, you damn American. What are you drinking? Smoking that American propaganda? Like, not everything everyone is like, no, there's no, come on, it's Quinn Hughes. He's the captain. You see how stoic this guy is. Like, maybe he'll be a little bit hurt because, like, FOMO is a real thing and we're all human beings, but he's not going to hold resentment. He's not going to hold on to this forever. If anything, he's going to want to add, just prove to everyone that, like, yo, we would have won this in 3 games, okay? Canada would have forfeited if I was in the lineup. Like, he's going to go out on a mission and do it, but I don't think that the FOMO is going to discourage him or make him sad. Like, he's not, I'm sorry to say this, he's not Elias Pettersson, man. Like, he doesn't take things that personal. Like, he's focused on, like, the next day, the next breath.
I would disagree with that to an extent, to be honest.
God,
like, you hear this guy in the media, like he brought up, remember when the Athletic had him as like tier 3 beer, whatever? He brought that up when he was in conversations. I think Quinn Hughes reads what's said about him. I don't think he takes it personally in the sense that he gets like butthurt, but I think he does take things personally. And yeah, the US winning without him, I don't know, man. I just wonder if he'd be like a little bit more petty towards the Canucks about not being able to be a part of that experience.
Honestly, everyone's, you guys gotta, hey, can everyone leave it in the YouTube live comments right now? Kick Trevor out of the podcast right now. That is one of the darkest things you've ever said, man. I don't know what you're trying to spew. You're trying to say that Quinn Hughes is gonna hold resentment towards the Vancouver Canucks because he has an oblique injury and he's the captain of the Vancouver Canucks and he already, told himself he's shut down for the tournament. How about you just stick to your word and you're shut down for the tournament? Okay, it is what it is. I know this feels like the Olympics now, but you're still not 100%. A couple days ago, you're in a red practice jersey. Oh, but I'm sorry, we're not letting you play and you're going to hold resentment? Come on. If he's really about it and the states are really about it, they know that this is a precursor for the Olympics. Because, like, once the Olympics starts, like, I'm telling you, they could win this tournament. If Canada wins the Olympics next year, bro, that this tournament's gonna look like a joke. It's gonna look like a participation ribbon. Like when people hang up their little trophies, like, come on, bro. It's not a big deal, bro. Quinn Hughes is not okay. Quinn Hughes is holding no resentment towards the Vancouver Canucks for saying he is not medically cleared to play. Like, come on. That's not the case. And if we actually think Quinn Hughes, I know he's young and he cares about these moments and he's a human being and all this stuff and he's emotional. Like, dude, come on. Like, he's way above that. He's way above that.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear you say that, Kyle. I'm just wondering if that's your Canuck fandom talking or if you truly believe that.
No, I truly believe it. I've watched the interviews with this guy and I've watched, like, this guy reads books, bro. I don't got to say less, bro. I feel like he's a stoic. He knows it's not. Bro, and Trevor, in life, brothers and sisters listening to this, okay, in life, just don't take things personal, okay? It is what it is. Things happen, but you cannot take things personal, okay? Especially towards the people who have made you a better player. Like Rutherford and Alvin, say what you want about them, but they've done some work here over the last couple of years. Rick Tocchet, his favorite coach ever. You're going to hold it personal against those guys because they're like, you're not physically cleared to play. You have a freaking oblique injury. You guarantee this guy's playing on Saturday at 90%. 90%.
Yeah, I think he's playing hurt for the rest of the season.
He's playing hurt for the rest of the season, and he has an injured hand. Like, dude, it is what it is. You're not playing in this game. And also, like, they would still have to throw Jake Sanderson down. I don't even know, like, down the stairs, or they'd have to, like, jump Adam Fox, the Kachuk brothers, to get him in the lineup. Like, there's still some work to be done. And it's like, dude, just stay with the team, dude. We got some new faces here, like Philip Hedl, Drew O'Connor, Marcus Pettersson. Like, you haven't even played a game with Marcus Pettersson yet. You just, like, stay with the Canucks, So it's okay. Don't take it personal. Come on, Trevor. You're dark, man. You got to stop reading tabloids and stuff, man. Come on, bro.
The darkest guy on the program.
Okay, Trevor, can I ask you one question, too? Okay, so I know I've poo-pooed all over this tournament at various points. I've also loved this tournament. I'm just an emotional guy, and I'm kind of just ready to have, like, Canucks hockey back, right? But what do you have to say about, like, so many of these American players? And maybe, again, it has to do with the fact that they've only won, like, 3 international men professional tournaments, okay? I'm trying to, like, categorize that phrase, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they haven't won a lot. But why do you think so many of them are like, yo, this is the biggest game of my life? It's the biggest game of my life. Like Jack Eichel said, I haven't been hyped up for a game like this in a long time, bro.
Did he really say? Did he say that?
Vegas win a couple years ago, like Adam
He just won the Stanley Cup like a year and a half ago. Did he actually say that?
This game means a lot to these guys, bro.
Yeah. For Jack Eichel to say that is one thing, but if you look at the
I don't know if I'm acting American right now, but I'm pretty sure he said that. You keep rambling though.
Yeah, no, I just think again, these guys are competitive and they're also patriotic, right? But for the guys who haven't made it to a Stanley Cup Finals, I mean, like it's 2 of 32 teams a year make the Stanley Cup Finals. Most of these guys do not make the Stanley Cup Finals, right? Well, only the best make it. And again, you still need some luck to get there. Whereas for the guys playing, I mean, you just have to be one of the best 20 players only. You'll have to be one of the best 20 players in your country and you can be on that team, right? So then you get to play in some of the biggest games of your life. So it actually gives the Stars an easier path, in my opinion, to play the biggest games of their lives, right? Because JT Miller, Austin Matthews, they haven't made the Stanley Cup Finals. Brady Tkachuk hasn't even made the goddamn playoffs. So, I mean, it is easier for these guys to get into a game like this than it is to make the Stanley Cup Finals. Winning the Stanley Cup is the toughest thing to do in sports. It's easier to win a tournament like this or even the Olympics than it is to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, this is something else. And it's a win-win for the NHL. But again, as the hours go by, it's 5 o'clock almost. That's what time the game is, right? 5 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock. What's the time? 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock our time.
Okay, 5 o'clock our time. I still got a couple hours here. I got a couple more edits to do. Speaking of which, I just dropped a new podcast out of our studio with my homie Providence. It's called The B Team. Go check it out on YouTube. Join the Discord. I'll send you guys the link. All in all, though, I got to get some work done here, but I'm hoping to get just enough done 90 minutes before 5 o'clock so I can have a meal. I didn't pack a lunch for a reason. So what's the most Canadian meal I could have at 3:30? I said it was butter chicken, tiki masala, a little bit of chicken curry, and some roti. I don't know. I would also say
sounds about right. Maybe some sushi as well.
Sushi, duffins. People are telling me to eat a poutine. Nice. A poutine. I could do that. Actually, I can't eat a poutine right now. I'm still not allowed to go to the gym for a couple months. So you know what? Anyways, I'll find something Canadian to eat. Blues band Dito is saying a handful of gummies. Okay, what are gummy bears Canadian? That's a Canadian invention?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay. Anyways, go Canada, go. Trevor, man, you need to. Honestly speaking, Trevor, today is the most disappointed I've ever been with you as a friend. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And Ash Neal is saying, hey, Ash Neal is saying the biggest Canadian meal you could have today prior to the game, the thing that makes you most Canadian is dal bath. If you don't know what that is, then you're not Canadian, okay? Again, my name's Kyle Bound. That right there is Trevor Beggs. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the show. And enjoy the game tonight, okay? Enjoy the game tonight. It's okay to clap when McDavid scores a goal, okay? Beggsy, sign us out.
Yeah, it's okay. And I didn't even get to my other disappointing news segment, which is apparently Kevin Lankinen rejected the latest contract offer from the Vancouver Canucks. We'll get to that on another episode.
Canucks listened to you and was like, "Yo, Lankinen, take 4 years at $2.265 a year."
Oh, he's worth more than that. You know that. I know that. You know that. Again, thanks for tuning into this episode of Locked On Canucks. Go Canada, go Rick Taka, go. The Canucks, they are going to beat Team USA tonight in the Four Nations. If you like the show, go subscribe and like this video on YouTube and on the podcast side. Oh, baby, go follow us and leave a 5-star review. For now, we got to get out of here. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Cal Bound. And you'll be listening to Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.